Our YouTube, so we're back, of course, we're talking FF7, we're talking Rebirth. We're here with some more year-end messages from some of the devs. This time it's Hamaguchi again, but also Yoshinori Kitase. These are quotes coming from Famitsu, which makes me wonder with the previous one we looked at where like Hamaguchi's year-end message was coming from. Was it just like an in general, here's my year-end message for everybody, coming from like him or from Square Enix or whatever? I'm not sure. Both of these like year-end messages from the devs are a little bit interesting. They have some things that we can discuss. They're not super groundbreaking, but also they could be. Let's hop into it. These translations, of course, are coming to us from Audrey, so let's just hop right into it. FF7 Rebirth director Hamaguchi also has a feature in Famitsu's year-end comments. Here's a translation of a section also focusing on FF7 Rebirth. Hamaguchi Naoki, his keyword is revival. His aspirations, 2024 is a year where the Final Fantasy franchise is going to be big. I would like to be able to interact more with fans as well as media too, so I hope we have a great year together. Its current status, FF7 Rebirth will be released on February 29, 2024. We took many fans' expectations of being able to explore a truly vast world map from Final Fantasy VII and made it into a reality. We hope that you'll be able to experience this game. And the last bit of that right there, we can just kind of skip over. Like, they both have one of these where it has nothing to do with Final Fantasy VII. It's about some other show or TV, movie, whatever that they're watching. Anyways, obvious talking points coming out of that are, for one, the keyword being revival. Assuming that that's in relation to FF7 Rebirth, which it kind of has to be. You can take that a lot of different ways. It's kind of depending on what you think is happening when it comes to the story in the games, right? Because there's people that think that, like, you know, obviously it's a sequel, potentially something after Advent Children, kind of like a recreation or something of the FF7 story, potentially from Sephiroth. So there could be like a revival thing there, either Sephiroth or reviving the FF7 story in a sense. You also have Aerith, right? Whether she like dies and comes back or can be saved in this game or whatever. There's a revival thing there. But also Zack coming back alive, right? Which is what we're being told by the devs. A lot of people think that Zack is dead, but there's a revival thing there as well. You can also look at it as like a revival of the FF7 story, like because we're just continuing the remake project, right? So that could be a way you could look at it. Some people will think that it's also like a tease of the third game's name, so like Final Fantasy VII Revival. I don't know, man. There's so many RE words out there. It's like, I mean, somebody's gonna get it right. I've seen Requiem, I've seen all kinds of other stuff, right? So who knows? Another kind of major takeaway from all of that for me when it comes to Hamaguchi's like year-end message was that in the aspirations part, he says that 2024 is going to be like a big year for the Final Fantasy VII franchise, as in like more than one property, not just FF7 Rebirth. We do obviously have like Ever Crisis ongoing. I guess we got Advent Children coming out too. Maybe that's what he could be leaning towards or something. But it just seems like there'd be something else FF7 related, which we can get into a little bit more with the Kitase stuff. But there obviously was like, I think early 2022, we had some messages from the devs. And Nomura was like teasing multiple FF7 projects that had not yet been announced. And the only one that at the time we weren't aware of that we've seen now is Crisis Core Reunion, right? But that's only one. He said multiple projects, right? So there's still some sort of unknown FF7 project out there we've yet to be shown. So maybe it's possible that next year we get something more than just FF7 Rebirth coming out like early, because there's a lot of year left, right? This game's coming out at the end of February, dude. There's still 10 months left in the year, so it's possible we get something else Final Fantasy VII related. I just don't know what. And I'm always here for it, dude. FF7's my favorite game. Like, I know some people look at it as like beating a dead horse and milking a franchise, and I don't even necessarily disagree with you, but I'm always down for more Final Fantasy VII. So let's hop right into Kitase's message. Famitsu has released their year-end game developer comments, and Kitase's is mostly about FF7 Rebirth. Here's what he says. Keyword 7. He said this last year too. He plans to say this many years in a row. Aspirations. He hopes that as many people around the world can enjoy FF7 Rebirth. Current status. FF7 Rebirth will release on February 29, 2024, and it will be an action and command battle RPG that allows for a vast exploration of the world. What kind of shocking developments await Cloud and his friends as they face their arch nemesis Sephiroth? Please look forward to it. And again, we're skipping that last part. So I mentioned that we could talk a little bit more about the like unannounced FF7 project when we get into the Kitase stuff, and his keyword is 7. And as Audrey mentioned, that was his keyword last year, and he plans on it being his keyword for multiple years. Obviously, for next year, it's for FF7 Rebirth, but maybe there could be something else. But that more than likely means that his keyword at the end of 2024 will also be 7, which means that there should be some FF7-related shit in 2025, which could be that unannounced Final Fantasy VII project. Actually, looking back at Audrey's translation there, like it says that he plans to use 7 as his keyword for many years. So that's like a decent amount, right? That you're looking, if you say many years, I'm thinking like 4 to 5 plus or something. So we could be having a lot of FF7 stuff going forward, which again, I'm personally fine with. But also I bring up the unannounced FF7 project, specifically in the Kitase stuff, because there's also another project that Kitase teased either this year or last year. There's supposed to be some big project coming out in 2023, or at least announced in 2023, unrelated to Final Fantasy VII, that we never got. And obviously the year's wrapping up. We're on December 30th right now as I'm recording. and we've never had that revealed. And we've been thinking for a long time that that's that Final Fantasy IX remake, but I don't know what happened to that. Like, they must have got delayed or something because we've never had anything announced. See if the 9 remake exists. It's something I'm very much looking forward to. It's one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, so I'm very much looking forward to whatever that could be. But even if the big project is unrelated to the 9 remake, or if the 9 remake doesn't even exist, I'm still very curious what that project was and why it wasn't ever announced. That's it for the video, my dudes. There's not much more to say about like the Katase side of things. We already kind of went in on like the Hamaguchi stuff. The only thing we could maybe keep talking about, really, if we wanted to, would be just kind of trying to look too much into the keyword being revival. But then we're just falling into talking about Zack and Aerith, which we had a little heartfelt conversation in the previous video, so I don't think we need to do that again. Of course, pass off to you guys. So what do you think that unannounced project is that Katase mentioned within the last like year or so? Is it the 9 remake? Is it something else? What do you think it's going to be? But also, what is that unannounced other, like, at least one other like FF7 related thing that like Nomura was teasing previously? Like, I'm so very, very curious what that could be. I don't know if that's another video game, if that's that, Netflix FF7/7 remake anime, or if it's just something else entirely. I don't know. Anyway, that's the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Social networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @DaveYT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Low Gain or leave it like Cobain.